Julia, how does it feel to be married now? Are you very happy to be married to my very important Hunter? Good morning, Josie. Of course, I'm so happy to be married to him now. I'm sure you don't need to be asking me something like that. Really? Well, isn't that wonderful to hear from you? I just wanted to make sure was all. Now, what about the real you? How does it feel to finally have found your host whom you can leech money from now? What? What do you mean by that? I really didn't want to have to say it like that, but I'm very aware that my family and yours are both on totally different levels from each other. It's almost like the relationship you have with my son shouldn't even be possible. In the past, a relationship like the one you have with Hunter wouldn't have been acceptable. I'm sorry to cut your little speech short, but my family is not as poor as you might want to believe. And like you've said, the times have changed and we don't care about what level people are on anymore like that. Wow! Are you trying to say that I'm stuck in the past or something now? Excuse me? I didn't say anything like that just then. What are you trying to say? I know that you probably have something against me, and that's why you're talking about me that way. Does it not hurt you to talk about an old woman in that kind of way? Let's stop things right there, Josie. What are you going on about right now? What did I say to you that you're so upset over? I was just agreeing with you about how times have changed and that people these days don't have the same views as they did in the past. Oh, I see. So what you're really trying to say now is that I'm the one misinterpreting things? I'm sure you're wanting to call me some stuck-in-the-past old hag right about now, right? What? I'm telling you that none of what I was saying meant anything close to that. I have once again had to deal with you calling me names and you breaking my heart. But that's all right. All I have to do is continue putting up with it and everything will be fine. Come on now, Josie, will you please just listen to me? I wasn't saying anything that was meant to be taken as hurtful towards you. Not one bit was any of what I said meant to make you upset. Is that right? By the way, your present from me for your wedding should be coming in the mail. What? Okay, thank you. The present will be for me? That's right, it's meant for you, Julia. I'll also be coming over to pick up Hunter for dinner before we head back to my place. We happen to have a meeting with the rest of my family to be at. Am I supposed to be coming to that meeting as well? Do you feel as though you're a part of my family when you've only been married to my son for 1 month? I think you're a bit too early there. Give it a bit more time, and I might start to consider you as something more. That's what I thought you'd say. It's not like we've had a wedding yet, so I haven't been able to meet the rest of Hunter's family in person. Although I'd kind of appreciate it if he were to introduce me to the rest of the family. I'm not sure that day will ever be coming for you, though. Huh? Tomorrow you'll be home all day long, right? Make sure you're there to get the present I've had sent to you, please. Understood. I'll make sure to listen closely for the doorbell.
Julia, have you been talking poorly to my mom again? I think it's getting close to time that you quit talking like that to her and be a good daughter-in-law. My mom is really sad right now over the things you've said to her.
She's the one who's sad? Why is she sad? I never said anything mean to her at all yesterday. What did she tell you I said?
She never went into detail about all you said to her, but it's rare for my mom to be so sad like she is now. I had really thought you, of all people, would want to become closer with my mom, instead of trying to push her away like that. I just can't believe it, Julia! Do you not like the idea of her being your mother-in-law now or something?
Hey, are you being serious about all this right now? You're just going to accept all that your mom has told you and turn against me like that without listening to what I have to say? I never once said anything mean to her yesterday, okay? I was just talking with her about how she felt about me being a part of the family now, but she seemed to not be so happy about me. If anything, I'm a bit sad about all of that.
Don't make things look like they're all her fault now. She's my mom, all right?
And I am very well aware of that, Hunter. But this isn't about me blaming her or anything. I just want you to listen to my side of the story so that you can better understand what went down between us. Can you please do that for me?
Julia, you stop it right now and calm down. How about you start being more kind to those that are much older than you?
So you don't care to listen to anything I have to say then? When we are back together, let's you and I have a proper chat about all of this. I have a lot to say about things myself now. Have the steaks made it to your place yet? That's your wedding present. $1,000 worth of very nice grass-fed steaks. Make sure to eat all of that by yourself, okay? I'm not eating any of this. What? I've already gone and thrown all of that steak out. You're lying, right? So you didn't eat any of it instead throwing it all out like that? You went and threw out the present that I was giving you to celebrate your wedding when it comes around? I sure did. What the hell was with that, Josie? You thought I'd actually eat steaks that were in as bad of a state as those were? Did you actually throw $1,000 worth of steaks in the trash? I did. None of it was worth trying to eat anymore because they were all rotten and covered in mold. Please do not ever send me something like those ever again, Josie. I understand that you don't like me at all, but that right there was just dangerous and caused me a whole lot of headache. I am shocked by what you've done. And the fact that you'd say that present was some kind of message of my hate towards you. Do you really hate me that much that you'd go and say that about me? What? So you're telling me none of that was done as a way of showing me how much you hate me? Are you listening to me, Josie?
Hey, I want you to stop all of that right now! This time you've gone and made my mom cry by what you did and said! What the hell do you think you're doing?
What do you think I'm doing? I'm just trying to keep myself from becoming food poisoned. That meat that your mom sent to me was all rotted and covered in black mold. So I went and put it all straight into the trash can.
Huh? You threw that all away? That was a present from my mom for our wedding worth $1,000, you idiot! You're going to tell me you didn't even bother trying some of that steak before throwing it in the trash?
Hold on now, Hunter. I don't even think that steak was worth $500 when added up.
You're the worst, Julia! Go and apologize to my mom right now for all of that!
I can see you really enjoy being that upset with me so one-sidedly. But are you even going to bother listening to anything I have to say today?
My mom has been nothing but kind to you, and this is how you're going to treat her? Why do you think it's okay for you to act that way?
I understand that she's doing a pretty good job faking the person she really is with you. She's good at faking herself to everyone, actually.
You are just terrible! The worst wife I've ever seen! If you're not going to go and apologize to her right now, then we're done here! I am not going to forgive you!
How about you listen to me first? I will tell you all you need to know about the truth surrounding her.
I know the truth, and it's not looking good for you. My mom was doing her very best to show you her kindness by sending all that high-quality meat, and you threw it all away! My mom is the best woman in the world, and yet you treat her like garbage!
Did you even stop to have a look at what was inside those boxes?
What?
You never took a look inside those boxes, did you? You're at work right now, so of course you wouldn't have been able to see what kind of present she sent me. Yet right now you are acting all one-sided with me, like I'm already the problem here, even though you haven't seen what's happened for yourself.
I guess I haven't been home to have a look inside what she sent you. But she would never send you anything crazy besides the meat she said she sent, right?
That's what you'd want to think. And that's why you can't find it in your heart to trust your very own wife. All you want to hear is what your mom is telling you, like the mama's boy you really are. Well, I'm going to tell you the truth about her, the harsh truth. That meat that she sent me was all spoiled, completely rotten. It was mostly covered in mold with little maggots wriggling around in them. Also, some of the pieces were covered in jalapeno, which I'm allergic to.
What? Are you sure?
There is no way I'd be able to eat any of that meat, right? I'm sure you wouldn't either if you'd seen it. The moment I opened the box, I could just tell everything was spoiled by the way it smelled like roadkill. And that's when I knew this was yet another one of her attempts to show me just how much she hates me. Your mom has been taking everything the two of us talk about and making it out to seem like I'm the one who's bullying her. That's why she's always coming to you crying about it in hopes that you'll want to punish me or leave me.
You're kidding, right? Why would my mom of all people be doing things like that? She has no reason to be doing that to you.
Your mom happens to hate me a whole lot more than you could ever imagine. That's why she's trying her dang hardest to get the two of us to separate.
My mom would actually want that, though? But she's always going on about how much she loves you to me!
She is just putting on a performance in order to make you think she's been up to nothing this whole time. Her goal is to make herself look as though she's not had any part in making you start to hate me. Remember how before you and I got married, she always seemed like she hated the idea of us being a married couple?
I thought she was always supporting you becoming my wife!
And to put it straight, she was only doing that in order to keep you on her side. All in order so that you would never be able to notice how much she truly despised me for who knows what reasons. But if you could see that what's really going on, you'd see that nothing she's been saying to you about her feelings is true, especially when it comes to me.
What? So she's just been putting on a face for me this whole time?
Haven't you ever noticed that there are times a jab at me will slip through? Like how sometimes she might suggest you getting married to someone else, or how things might be different for you if you were with so-and-so? I'm sure you have, but have been kind enough to point out that I'm the right woman for you, and that I'm younger than you, so your mom should be happy with the woman you married. I'm sure you never see what she's saying at those points in time as being jabs at me, but they are. You just seem to think that she means nothing by it at all, and move on.
Wait a minute. Everything I'm hearing from you is a little hard for me to understand. How was any of that a jab at you?
To be honest, it doesn't really matter if you understand or not. Just be aware that your mom really does hate me, and she's made that very clear to me. And for a little while, she's been doing her best to get you to start hating me too.
She's really been wanting for the two of us to get a divorce that badly? Why would she want that of her own son?
I'm not sure the reason why myself. But from everything I've had to endure from her so far, she really does not want me around her family at all. Really, it's like I'm trying to battle a beast at times when talking to her.
I cannot believe this. The fact that my own mom has been thinking of us that way.
I'm sure it really is hard to believe, considering that this is your first time hearing about it. Once you get home today, I'll show you everything. All the proof.
Do you have that much proof, though?
How about you just come home and find out for yourself? I'd much rather you see for yourself what she's been up to instead of complaining about me from your office chair.
But I already told my mom that I'd be going to her house after work.
Right there. That's her trying to get to you first in order to play with your head before you can see what I have to share.
What do you mean?
Well, if you get home even later in the day after she's gone and lied to you about what really happened, the meat will have gone bad and you'll be believing everything she said for sure, right? Then I'll have no way to get you to see the truth clearly and we'll be stuck having the two of you hating me even more. It's all a part of her plans, Hunter.
I see. I would have never thought this was something she'd been up to.
Today, I want you to come back here first and see the proof, and then you can go over to your mom's house.
All right. I guess I have no other choice but to do that now.
Please do that. I'll make sure I have all the proof ready for you to see. Josie, do you really enjoy doing things like that to me? Really enjoy doing what? Are you going to try hurting me even more than you've already done? You really are a scary woman for sure. What did I ever do to deserve all of this from you? Well, you've been doing all of this bullying to me in order to get your son and I to divorce, right? I have zero clue what you're trying to get at there. That steak you sent me in the mail today, it was all spoiled and disgusting. There's no way any of that meat was spoiled. Would you please stop trying to make me out as such a horrible mother-in-law? I really want to know what kind of nerve you have throwing out all that steak I sent to you as a present today. Today, I'm going to have Hunter stay the night at my house. I wouldn't want him having to sleep in the same house as a witch like you. You might silence him or something. That's totally fine. Huh? It's fine that he stay here with me tonight? I'll let you have him sleep over at your house however long you'd like. He and I have separated now, so there's no point in him staying at this house anymore. What did you say? Just like you'd said to me earlier. He and I are not on the same level and shouldn't be in a relationship at all. It was only natural that the two of us break up, so we're done here, right? You're going to stop harassing me now, right? You've both finally broken up? Well, it's all for the best when it comes to you two. Although I really only care that my son makes it out okay. I couldn't care less what ends up happening to you now. Now Hunter will finally be able to go out into the world and find true happiness for himself. So does this now mean you'll confess all the horrible things you've said and done to me?
I was never doing anything mean to you.
Well, because of you, we were able to choose to get a divorce. Really, you've hated me all this time, right? He and I are done with, so you can come out and tell me the truth about how you felt this whole time.
Well, you have a good point there. It wasn't that I ever hated you, Julia, but rather that I've hated you so much that I wish you'd just die.
I knew that was the case this whole time.
Not only did you come out of nowhere one day and take my little Hunter away from me for so long, but you did so all with the intention of being a parasite. I had no reason to ever like a woman like you. But finally, Hunter came around to realizing that divorcing you was the right choice. All of that hard work I'd been putting in behind the scenes has finally ended with my desired effect.
All that hard work you put in, huh? So you're saying that pretty much all that crap you said and did to me was on purpose? All in order to get the two of us to divorce and never talk to one another again, right?
Well, of course it was all for that. This whole time, ever since you both got married, I've been wanting your eyesore of a butt out of my son's life.
Then you knew that the meat was spoiled before sending it to me, right? You also were the one to put jalapeno all over some of them. Was all of that really even worth $1,000 to you?
Of course it wasn't. I just took the old box left over from the expensive butcher I'd ordered my meats from and put some week old cuts of meat in there that I bought at the supermarket before sending the box to you. I made sure that while I had the meat sitting out in the sun, to sprinkle jalapeno all over them as well. I'm sure you were surprised by all of that, right?
Oh, I sure was surprised. Surprised by the lengths you were going to in order to show your hate for me. Josie, had I actually cooked up and eaten one of those steaks, what would have happened then?
Well, my Hunter is very smart, so he would have never eaten any of that. But just to be on the safe side, I made sure that today he'd be eating dinner at my house. As long as he's safe and healthy, I don't care what you end up doing.
That is totally screwed up, Mom!
What?
It's me, Mom. Hunter!
Huh? What the? Hunter? Weren't you on your way over to my house for the night? I thought you were going to come straight home to me right after you got out of work.
That was my plan as well. But then I found out about how you and Julia had been talking to one another again today. I wanted to see for myself if what Julia was telling me about that present you sent her was true. So I went home before I planned on coming to see you. From the looks of it, that meat that Julia ended up throwing away was all spoiled and looked like the bark on a tree with all that mold. Now you tell me what the hell is going on here between you two. I think I've come to the conclusion that I can't trust you as my mom anymore.
You have it wrong, Hunter. This is all a misunderstanding on your end. I never meant for any of this to happen. Julia's just been setting me up in order to make me look like the problem here. But Hunter, you've already went ahead and chosen to divorce her, right? I think you can go right ahead and just give up on her now. You understand there's no point in talking to her anymore, right?
The only thing I've come to understand now is that you're a monster, Mom!
What? I'm the monster? Why am I the monster?
No matter how I try and look at it now, you're the only monster among us. This whole time, you have been harassing her and then lying about it to me to make me start getting mad with her as well. I'm shocked by this, Mom! I can't trust you anymore!
I'm telling you, you're wrong about that. You have a total misunderstanding of the situation right now.
I'm going to have a talk with Dad about all of this. I'll give Julia her smartphone back now. But you promised me to stop all that crap you've been giving her from now on. She's the most important thing to me.
Wait a second, what happened to the two of you getting a divorce?
Hello, Josie. This is Julia again. I think after everything I've done to show Hunter the real you, he's come back to understanding the truth. He now understands who the true liar has been.
Are you kidding me, Julia? You deceived me like that. Set me up. You lied to me about how you'd both be getting divorced, also that I would come out with the truth.
I sure did bait you into all this. I had to make sure that you really did hate me that much and were the real bully in all of this. Hunter was able to find out the truth as well, and I'd say this all turned out perfectly for us.
Turned out perfectly for who? Are you messing with me? You hurry up and divorce my Hunter. You are not a part of my family and never will be.
I'm glad to hear nothing but the truth coming from you. And don't worry, because I have no plans of coming near you again. Just like you've been wanting, we will not be family. But Hunter has come around to learning he was in the wrong this whole time by believing what you'd say. And from now on, he will be on my side when it comes to family drama.
What? Are you trying to say he's going with you? You're going to steal my Hunter away from me for good?
I'm not stealing something that you tossed away, am I? He's moving on with his life around me, and in order to do so, he needs to cut ties to you. I know this whole time you've been trying to push me out of your family for good. But what you've really gone and done is push yourself out, leaving you with nobody. Now, Josie, have a good one, please. I hope that while you're burning in hell, you get time to munch on some spoiled and moldy steaks. After what he'd learned about his mom, Hunter went ahead and gave up on her food for good and cut her out of his life. All of this also led to her husband getting fed up with her, and the love they once had went cold. This then forced him into wanting a divorce, and as of right now, they're on their way to becoming complete strangers again. I've heard that when Josie first heard from her husband that he wanted to divorce her, she screamed and cried for him to take all of that back. But there really is no way for her to prove that she was worth being married to still, when she went to such great lengths to hurt both her daughter-in-law and her own son like she'd been doing. Josie really tried so hard to get Hunter and I to get a divorce, but all she ended up doing was hurting herself by forcing her husband to want to divorce her. In terms of myself and Hunter, all of this led to us actually becoming even closer to one another as husband and wife. Hunter started to see that his distrust in me at first around his mom was a huge problem. And as of right now, we both go to couples therapy where he learns to listen to me more and communicate how he feels about situations. All in all, with the harassment that I had to endure after getting married to him, I have to say I thank his mom for being a complete and utter monster, as it's made for a great learning point for Hunter and I.